This week is the third anniversary of the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. And just yesterday, the Supreme Court dealt another blow to reproductive rights. They ruled that South Carolina can go ahead with their efforts to defund Planned Parenthood, which could give the green light for other states to cut funding. The vast majority of Americans on both sides of the aisle support access to abortion, and most of the work that Planned Parenthood does has nothing to do with abortion. 94%, I believe, is about women's health. But they are men's health. And men's health. So they are stopping the funding through Medicaid. So if everybody wants the other in this country, why do they keep going against the will of the people? I ask you.
I really don't know. I mean, you know, I think one of President Trump's promises was that he would not enact a federal abortion ban, and that's exactly what he's doing but he's doing it through shadow litigation and shadow courts and things like this. And it's just a devastating blow, I think, not just to a woman's right to choose, but a woman's right to choose reproductive health care. And the bottom line is, as you mentioned, Joy, Planned Parenthood doesn't only perform abortions. They include, they provide contraception, breast exams to detect breast cancer. They provide testing for sexually transmitted diseases like herpes and chlamydia, things that can affect your reproductive health system. And so I cannot believe that the Supreme Court once again has chipped away at fundamental rights.
This week I read a case, the story of Representative Kat Kamak. She is a congresswoman from Florida. And she learned she had an ectopic pregnancy. She went to try to get treatment in Florida.
Tell them what it is.
Well, an ectopic pregnancy, and this strikes really close to home for me, because I had an ectopic pregnancy. I think you did too. And when you learn you have an ectopic pregnancy, it's, you know, you're dealing with the sadness of knowing that your pregnancy is no longer viable. The baby you thought you were going to have is not going to happen. And you're also dealing with the fear of feeling like you've got this ticking time bomb inside of you that can explode at any moment. It is a pregnancy inside a fallopian tube. If it grows too much, it will explode your fallopian tube. You can bleed to death. My mother almost died of one. But anyways, this Republican congresswoman learns she has one, goes to get treatment, and the doctors deny her, were too nervous about applying the treatment, which is a shot these days. So she tried to call the governor's office to give the doctors an okay. She argued her case, and hours afterwards, she finally got the treatment. But the bottom line is that whether you are a Republican or a Democrat or anything in between, you're going to have health emergencies, pregnancy emergencies. So I think this case highlights...
Didn't she blame the Democrats?
Yeah, she said that it was the Democrats' fault for having... for stirring up such hysteria about this about the laws that doctors were afraid to issue
follow the law.
The reason that their doctors are afraid is because they're getting prosecuted, they're getting sued, they're getting licenses
because
removed.
Of Republican legislation.
Let's also just offer condolences to this woman, the fact that both of you experienced. I mean, that's one of the worst things a woman could go through, is when you're wanting to have a viable pregnancy and you find out that you're going to lose it. What she spoke to, because my initial reaction based on the headline was like, that seems weird to be placing blame, and I personally would not jump to placing partisan blame. It's just not how I operate with something like that. But what she was talking about is the services that she should be getting are not abortion services by medical definition to treat an ectopic pregnancy, but that these medical providers were confused because of the political discourse around it, that they were fearful that if they gave her that medical intervention, there could be some sort of response. So I think it has a lot to do with the discourse and what we're representing.
Looking at the abortion ban is becoming very alarming, and most people are not in support of that, because a lot of women are losing their life, and they see that it's a right for a woman's right to be seized. A woman don't have control over their own body. Some states are accepting it and some states are refusing it. They went ahead and talk about the Roe v. abortion right, that the Supreme Court is accepting, so other states can really go ahead and do. They talk about this lady, the representative, she, in Congress lady, she went to the hospital and she got an ectopic pregnancy. And the doctor was afraid that he is going to lose his license. And they had to make some call because it's health-wise. And finally, she was able to they did the ectopic pregnancy for her and she was able to be safe and she went back home. But rather than her creating an alarm that fighting that disconnecting that the abortion right that is not the good one. The Roe v. Abortion right is not really perfect. But on the other hand, she started blaming, it's a blame game, was blaming the Democrat that they are the ones that just come and alarm and they are loud. Them being loud and alarming, it makes frightened doctors not to want to do it on people because they think that they are going to lose their license. And the women in the views, you look at someone like Joy Behar who have experienced ectopic pregnancy, and not to have experienced ectopic pregnancy. They went ahead and talk how dangerous ectopic pregnancy is. Is that pregnancy that will grow out of the fallopian? It go in the fallopian tube, and it's very. Some people bleed to death, and some people barely survive it. So what will you do in a case that you have an ectopic pregnancy, and the doctor cannot perform it because he's afraid of his license because of what they have said? So rather than that, they say that that ban also include women going to check up for their needs. Those if they have cancer, those women also going to check if they have venereal diseases. Women also breastfeeding also, you know, women with breastfeeding. Medicare will no more support for that because of this particular law. So they say that that was a law that before President Donald Trump came into power, that's what he was saying. He was going to pass, and he has successfully passed. They went ahead and talk about this episode that happened in Georgia. We all know the lady who had complication with pregnancy, and she was about to die, but her brain is dead. But you know, your brain dead, you still have some time to go. So her family said that you let her go by taking off the machine on bed. By law, they refuse to do that. They say they are going to keep the baby. She's going to carry that pregnancy till the baby is time to be removed. And that baby was being removed, and the baby was 1 pound. So to some people, what do you really think? Do you support such a scenario that the family don't want they want the girl that she's dead, let her just go and die with the baby? But on the other hand, the government is refusing that. They will keep the baby till the baby is time to come out, then they will let the mother go. So what is your opinion about this? Do you support that women cannot have control over their own body? They cannot decide that I want to go and I don't want this baby because I'm financially not fit, or because some people, their belief, they have certain religion that believe. So what do you really think about all this? Can I see your own opinion in the comment section? Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and keep sharing my video. Thank you very much.